Hey guys, Ivan here, and today's video we got a whole bunch of bodybuilding updates, not exactly like massive, crazy, big news, but a lot of smaller updates. I'm gonna try and not stay too long on any of these topics. I don't want this video to end up being a 30-minute long podcast, but even if it does, so what? I'm gonna enjoy making this video. I'm sure you guys are gonna love watching it as well. So let's start with the first update we got, and that's an update from Krizo at 7 weeks out of the Mr. Olympia. All right, so at 6.5 weeks out of the Mr. Olympia, this is what Krizo looks like, and it's good. It's good for sure. I mean, he's usually a little bit less impressive in his off-season, and then he's kind of growing into the show. Basically, when he's competing, he gets leaner and fuller and bigger and better. So as this prep keeps progressing, he's going to be getting leaner and harder, but also bigger, rounder, fuller. And in my opinion, guys, Krizo, at his best, his 2026 version, this video right here is from the New York Pro, where he lost to Tonio Burton, deservedly so, but at Pittsburgh Pro, he kind of annihilated the whole lineup, and he definitely destroyed Tonio as well. I think that version of Krizo, with better posing, with this size, with this conditioning, with this much wow factor, freak factor, bubbliness, roundness, 3D, this version of Krizo can contend for a top 5, top 6 spot at the Mr. Olympia. Worst case scenario, 7th spot. I don't see anybody today challenging this guy for that 7th. Maybe Tonio Burton, but Krizo needs to be a little bit off. Tonio was 110% on for both New York and Pittsburgh, but Krizo beat him at Pittsburgh because he was much better in terms of posing. He learned how to do the poses so much better. And I don't think he's going to forget to do that for the Mr. Olympia. So as long as he nails it the way he did for Pittsburgh and New York, if he brings this look, he's 7th guaranteed, but I can definitely see him challenging for 6th with guys like Martin or maybe Nick, if Nick is a little bit off, or maybe even Hadi if he falls off. Who the hell knows who's going to be potentially off, but again, 7th place at a Mr. Olympia, in my opinion, guaranteed. That's how good Krizo is right now. And again, based on this update that he posted, everything looks good. Everything looks solid. Like, he has the size, he has the roundness, his famous bubbly look, and the clean look, the lines. Everything is great. It's phenomenal. I don't think he has any injuries, or, you know, he's still very young. He still looks fresh. So, yeah, this is going to be a good year for Krizo. Finally, he's going to the Mr. Olympia again, and this year with a much improved package. Again, guys, tell me, do you think he's going to place higher than 7th? Don't tell me he's going to place lower, because that's not happening. Do you think any better spot than 7th is possible? Your thoughts, guys, down below in the comment section. All right, at also 6.5 weeks out of the Mr. Olympia, we got a new physique update by Ruff Diesel. That's right, Ruff Diesel, Terrence Ruffin. That's him, right here, in this photo, in case you haven't recognized him. This is what Ruff Diesel looks like right now, and no, he's not retired. He's actually competing at a Mr. Olympia. And last year, he was top 3 at the Mr. Olympia, guys. He was top 3, and some people even had him winning the whole show, winning the Mr. Olympia. Does he look like a top 3 guy in the world in classic physique right now? I mean, especially compared to somebody like Anton Ratushny, who never even competed at the Mr. Olympia stage. Does he look close to that level? Absolutely not, man. Absolutely not. He looks like he's retired completely. I don't know what's the point of even posting these photos. I'm assuming he's maybe planning on doing a transformation challenge and bringing something insane to the stage and having these photos as a starting point in which he looks absolutely retired. Let's just use that word, retired. But, you know, I'm hoping, honestly, I'm a fan of Terrence's physique. I mean, not a huge fan. I definitely prefer taller physique, especially in classic. But, yeah, his physique is great. It's very aesthetic. He's definitely a good classic physique competitor. I mean, top 3 in the world last year. So I am hoping he's going to pull a Levroni this year. What does that mean? That means growing into the show. You guys know that Kevin Levroni was much, much worse. Like at 6 weeks out of the Mr. Olympia or any other show he was doing, he looks like at some points, Dave Palumbo talked about this, he met him once. I'm not sure which show he was preparing for, but at some point out of the show, he looked like he doesn't even train. And then he started the prep, and he just started using the gear, and he started eating more and training hard and doing everything, and he just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and in the end, he was huge and shredded, and Dave couldn't believe what he witnessed. So maybe Terrence Ruffin is going to pull the same thing, grow into the show, get leaner at the same time, and bring what he had last year. Do I see that happening? No. Not really. I mean, Kevin Levroni took like 6 months before the Mr. Olympia to really prep and be at his best. And even then, I don't think he was at his best. I think his physique was slowly degrading over the years. If he did what Dorian Yates was doing, he would win the Mr. Olympia for sure, no doubt about it. So what Terrence is doing right now, yeah, sure, he might come back. He might look decent, but to be a contender for a win at the Mr. Olympia or to be a top 3 guy again based on this, absolutely not, man. Absolutely not. I don't see that happening. Whatever you guys think, though, tell me down below in the comments. All right, the next thing we got is something from Atlanta Pro, and that's basically the return of Robert Timms, the guy that owns the Mr. Classic Physique nick on the IG. And a couple of years ago, he was like a big name in Classic Physique, and we all kind of expected him to be like the next Chris Bumstead, this and that. And now he competed at Atlanta. He brought actually a pretty good look, pretty good condition. But some of you sent me this video and complained about his placement at this show. Couldn't understand why he took 3rd here. And why Gabriel Antonelli won, and why was this guy next to him 2nd. Guys, in my opinion, this was a pretty clear result. I don't want to get too deep into it. Mr. Classic Physique or Robert Timms, the only thing that he really has that's very impressive is the size of his waist. He does have a tiny waist, and also, of course, he's really shredded always. Has crazy conditioning, crazy hardness and graininess. So, yeah, he does have those 2 things, but he doesn't have the best proportions. His legs are too small. His abs are great, but his waist is small, but, the legs are not big enough. The proportions, the look, the shape of the body just doesn't really scream classic physique, at least to me. It's not that aesthetic, but he was good. I mean, he wasn't far behind the other 2 guys, but did he deserve to place 3rd here? Yeah, absolutely. I definitely see that, mainly because of the shape of the physique and the development of the physique. That's the way I see it, guys. If you see it otherwise, feel free to let me know. All right, now the next guy, the next classic physique guy that we got today is Wesley Vissers with a new physique update in which, man, he looks amazing. He looks crazy. When I saw this, I was like, wow, he looks good. Like, he looks hard already and big and full and round, and the legs are looking good. But that was my initial thought, like for the first few seconds. And I was like, no, come on. Yeah, I like his physique. It's a nice physique. It's a really aesthetic physique. He's a taller guy and all that. But on that stage, when he hits the poses, guys like Mike Sommerfeld, like Ramon Dino, and so many others just destroy him with their structures, right? Because they have complete physiques. They have, round and big and developed legs from the front, from behind. They have the hamstrings, the adductors, the outer sweeps of the quads. Wesley, his upper body is great, but the legs are just not really following the upper body. So because of his shape and structure and proportions, he will not win the Mr. Olympia unless maybe he brings some crazy level of fullness while being completely diced and the other guys fail a little bit with the condition, which is possible, sure. He did beat Ramon before. I don't know if he beat Mike ever since he took that 2nd on the Mr. Olympia to Chris Bumstead. I don't think he beat him since then. But if he beat Ramon and Ramon beat Mike, then sure, on paper, it's possible that he beats these guys, but they need to be off. They need to be off, and not just 2 of them, but like 3 or 4 other guys. If all those guys, like top 5, top 6, 7 guys are spot on, they'll beat Wesley. Yeah, he does have a very, very unique, very, very, very special, very classic physique, but with his completeness and development and just the overall shape and structure, I don't see him winning the Mr. Olympia. But would I love to see that? Sure. I would love to see him deserve it with better legs, with better completeness, and with that structure, and with the size, with the frame and everything. So we'll see what's going to happen, but I'm cheering for Wesley. I like him as a person and also as the physique, but based on the judging criteria, I don't see him winning, but let's wait and see in 6.5 weeks. All right, the next thing we got is a physique update from another taller guy, another taller bodybuilder, this time open bodybuilder, Quinton Eriya, who is going to face his rival right now, Sergey Danilov, at a Mr. Olympia. That's going to be a very interesting rematch. Will Quinton be able to beat Sergey at a Mr. Olympia? No, I don't think so, because I don't think Quinton progressed at all since that France Pro to now, and I think Sergey progressed quite a bit, so I'm pretty sure Sergey is going to defeat Quinton again, unless he comes in off, but as long as he's conditioned, he's beating Quinton. Quinton is going to the Mr. Olympia. I don't want to bash the guy. He has a nice physique and also, and he has the potential, structure-wise, to be one of the top guys at one point, but realistically, he's probably the weakest bodybuilder on the Mr. Olympia this year. I think he won the weakest lineup, the weakest show this year. So yeah, he didn't have any competition really. He was battling. I can't even remember the guy he was battling. You guys remind me, but yeah, that's how tough the show was. There was some guy that was second a show before or third or something like that, and he never won a show either. So yeah, it wasn't a tough lineup, but Quinton won, and he's in solid shape right now. He does have, some work to do, but in 6.5 weeks, he'll be ready. Again, not really better than last year, but he's going to the Mr. Olympia. He's going to have a great experience. He's not going to place well, but, give him a couple of years. If he adds another, 40, 50 pounds of muscle, he might be the next Samson Dauda. But at this pace, it just doesn't seem like it's going to happen. But who knows? Again, Samson kind of, burst to the scene and became really good at like 35 or so. And Quinton is only like 28, 29 right now. So he has time. Hopefully his body will respond and he didn't burn his receptors completely. He can actually, start maybe doing more gear in the future and get bigger. Or actually, a much better idea would be to actually start lifting harder, lifting heavier, because I don't follow this guy, but from what I'm hearing from the people who actually follow him is that he's not really training super hard, super heavy. So if he changes that in the future, he might actually, break through the ranks and add a new level of size to his physique and actually be really competitive. The structure is there, the shape is there, it's just the size is lacking. All right, the next thing we got is Texas Pro that is happening this next weekend. And it seems like the lineup for this show isn't exactly super deep. Like, there aren't a lot of big-name bodybuilders. Joe Palacios pulled out, sadly. James Hollinshead, he's not competing. He finally won his show, so he won't do this show. The only big name here that is doing this show is Regan Grimes, but we got some other interesting entries. For example, John Jewett is actually competing. I didn't even know he was prepping. Then we also have guys like Colossus Ken, Louis Breed, Tim Bodesheim, John Arthur, Duncan, Patrick Moore, and the other guys you can see right here. So not exactly top level guys, but it's going to be competitive for sure. It's going to be probably an easy win for Regan. It's his show to lose, but you never know. Maybe a surprise happens. Now, we got something from Patrick Moore, and it's not a physique update, but it's something, I don't know, man. I just thought it was kind of silly, but I wanted to show it to you because you might find it funny the way I did. So he posted his comparison right here, and the caption is interesting, but this show on the left is actually Tampa, the right one is Atlanta, and he's kind of showing how he brought different looks to these two shows. that basically he was bigger and fuller at Tampa, and he was more streamlined and more shredded for Atlanta. I think he was just simply off for Tampa, not conditioned enough. And here this photo is not the same angle. So he looks like he's 40 pounds heavier on the photo on the left, but he was the same size, just slightly off. Now the caption here says, it's some wisdom that, as Joe Pelesh says in the comment section, he learned from Phil Heath. So he says, when I was younger in this sport and I didn't have as much muscular development as I have now, I remember Phil Heath telling me, you have to be able to bring different looks. It made sense back then, even more sense now, as I could see how dominant he was in any lineup, regardless of the competitors. If it didn't matter he was up against 300-pounder or a 215-pounder. That doesn't make sense, but okay. He stood out every time. Looking at his Tampa to Atlanta was a product of teaching. Tampa was more a bigger lineup, and Atlanta was more of a mixture. So basically what he's trying to say is that he actually tried to bring a different look to these two stages. And what I'm going to say here is that I'm not saying that Phil Heath's advice was wrong, but maybe more so that Patrick is not applying it the right way. Because when Phil Heath said he needs to be able to bring different looks, maybe it meant, fuller versus more shredded. And in my opinion, in my experience, from what I saw so far, the only time Patrick places well is when he's in condition. Is when he's shredded. When he's slightly off, he's just a small guy with nice shape that's not conditioned. When he is conditioned, he's a guy with a nice shape that's shredded, but just not as big. So in his situation, I don't think this is the right strategy. He should never go for the Tampa look. He should always go for the Atlanta look, because historically he only placed well when he was shredded. And I don't know if he's actually trying to bring this difference in packages, or he's just, being off at certain shows and he's using this as an excuse. And also, why was Tampa a bigger lineup? Because it had Nick Walker in it, and that's it. Atlanta was the same show, basically, just without Nick Walker, so it wasn't really a different type of a show. And, again, I don't think he was any bigger at Tampa. He was just more soft. So it didn't look good. He looked much better at Atlanta, so he improved on his physique so much. So I hope he watches this and he understands what I'm saying. I'm sure all of you will agree with me. His look at Atlanta was 10 times better than his Tampa look. He improved so much. A lot of you guys actually had him winning the freaking show. And that's not because there was no Nick Walker at that show, or because the judges at Atlanta are looking at these guys differently. No, it was simply because he was in better condition. That's it. He always should go with condition, because then he has 2 things out of 3. He will never have size. He can have conditioning and he has shape. If he doesn't have size and he doesn't have conditioning, the only thing he has is shape. That's not going to work. And being fuller, or 5-10 pounds heavier, is not going to help him much. And I think that's pure logic, but if you guys disagree with me by any chance, tell me down below in the comment section. All right, and finally, we got a physique update by John Jewett. Like I said, I had no idea he was competing, but he is absolutely peeled. He's peeled out of his mind. He's shredded. And, he seems pretty good. Like, he's not showing us his full physique. He's in the shorts here, but he looks good. Like, he looks, in his usual size, shredded, maybe a little bit flat here. So I'm not sure if he downsized a little, or maybe he's just too flat. We'll see, but he doesn't look bursting full, and he shouldn't look bursting full at this point in this peak week. But, he looks good. He's lean, he's really peeled, and as he says in the caption, he's coaching Colossus Ken. Colossus Ken, who changed the coach this week. He was coached by Andrew Wu up until Tampa, but this was, I don't know how many times he failed so far for a show with condition, with a look overall, and I guess he finally realized that he needs to change something, and I thought the same thing. I thought he should change a coach. I didn't want to talk too much about it on this channel because I'm a coach myself, guys, and if I'm talking about it, kind of looks like I'm stealing someone's client. Because as you guys saw last year, Eric Janicki, one of the top open pros, hired me, and I think after this year, after he competes again, more and more top open pros will be hiring me. I'm hoping for that. I'm expecting that, to be honest, and we'll see how it's gonna go. But maybe even before that, maybe somebody saw what I did with Eric, and they want to give it a try and give my peak week approach a chance. I'm hoping for that as well. So if somebody is watching this and you're not sure what you're doing and you're an open pro, I'm not going to charge you anything. Just let's give it a try. Let's give it a go. But even if you're an amateur or you want to do a full show, a whole prep or an off season, you can just hire me on IG. Just DM me at even bodybuilding _ I am going to charge you, but you're going to love it. You're going to enjoy every moment of it. And it's going to be worth your money for sure. I know I mastered my approach to the peak week, and I'm pretty sure anybody can come to me and bring at least 30% better look to the stage, but we'll see how that goes. Anyways, John Jewett is now coaching Colossus Ken, and yeah, I mean, we'll see what they're going to do if John does something positive with him and brings him in condition, better conditioned. Then that kind of tells us something about John, that he actually also understands how to pick these guys, because he didn't have a lot of time since Tampa to now. And Ken, I don't remember him peaking for the show ever since I know about him, peaking well. So if he does something positive this year, actually at this show, and brings it, who the hell knows? Maybe if he really nails it, he wins the show. I mean, that's going to definitely, send John Jewett into the top echelon of coaches. And he is already there, basically, coaching Sean Clarida and doing really well with him. But this would be a really good move as well. So we'll see what's going to happen. Texas Pro is going to be pretty interesting. And that is going to do it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. See you soon, guys. All the best, and bye-bye.